Welcome, Minister Jeffers. Good to have you.
Thank you, and good to be here as well. I don't think I sat in this chair last year.
Right,
For
we
some
missed you.
reason, we would have missed each other, but I'm glad to be here this year.
It's our pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
So, as I mentioned, agriculture has gotten an increase of about $5 million, up to $20 million from 15.8, roughly $5 million. So, tell us, what are some of the plans that the ministry has in store for this new allocation?
Okay, well, the old adage says, to whom much is given, much is expected. I believe since the onset of COVID-19, we would have seen agriculture as one of those pivotal sectors to really impact the lives and the livelihood of our citizens, but more so our farmers and the populace at large. That being said, we have developed a new focus in agriculture in terms of looking more towards technology and different methodologies to pursue agriculture here in the Federation. I've always said, and it's the belief of my entire ministry, is that we have to be able to feed ourselves in the event of any difficulties that may arise. These days you have difficulties with supply chain disruptions, and as such you have to find ways and means to mitigate against those difficulties. So we are looking at having more greenhouses distributed to our farmers here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. We have already started it, and of course this year we intend to distribute an additional 10 at least, and that is our means of ensuring that we can produce 12 months of the year. Greenhouse technology, as you may be aware, and of course persons who are viewing and listening would be aware, it is a prolific form of crop production, and it is one that lends itself to some protection in that you have different weather systems and patterns that you'll have to deal with throughout the year, and greenhouse technology tends to provide you with that environment where you can continue to produce even during the dry season. So that is one of the areas that we will be focusing on this time around, this year. Additionally, of course, you know, we started some work at Bayford Center of Excellence, if you want to put it that way. That was an area that was dormant for many years, I believe since about 1993. We would be conducting breeding program there in livestock, where we can distribute animals to our livestock farmers so as to improve the genetics of the stock that we have here in the Federation. Of course, in terms of the root crops such as yams, tanya, dasheen, that type of thing, we intend to exert more effort down there in the Foyes area. So in every area, in crop, livestock and fisheries, of course we intend to provide much more training to our fisher folks and provide them with some of the equipment and some of the additional implements and so forth that they need to conduct their trade. So in all areas we'll see how much we can invest more with the additional funds that we have been given.
Now, I know the Prime Minister mentioned this in his statement, and it's been talked about in many public circles, the marijuana industry, the local marijuana industry.
Right.
Will there be any focus on, pushing that aspect forward?
Well, of course, he did emphasize that there will be some more efforts exerted this particular fiscal year. Indeed, you know that the marijuana commission was put in place, and now there is an authority, so they would be the one to guide the process along with the expert opinions and consultants who will be engaged with that authority. So over the next 12 months you will see some incremental and maybe some quantum leaps, so to speak, in that industry. But of course it is one that would be new to us and one that requires some serious attention in terms of implementation of that particular industry so that we can get it right. Other countries would have done a reasonably good job, and it's time for us to get serious about it. But as we go along, I suppose more information will be disseminated as you go, but it's not wise to speak out of turn, because it is one that is still in the development stages, and I do believe that over the next 3 months, 6 months, you will hear more, and of course you'll see more effort being exerted there. Why this industry is important is because as we look for alternatives, we have a thriving CBI program. Agriculture was king to some extent in the past when the sugar industry was vibrant, and then that obviously was closed. So there are additional areas that we have to look towards for future development, because all eggs cannot be in one basket. So that is why that industry is key and important to this federation, and more will be said as we go along.
Okay, thank you very much, and we look forward to hearing more from you in your presentation in the coming days.
Okay, and I look forward to that as well, and thank you very much, and it's always good to engage.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
I've been speaking with the Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, and he's been speaking with us about the plans his ministry has in store following the announcement of their allocation of $20.2 million, up from $15.8 million in the national budget. The now